Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to another breaking news episode for you guys today. And of course, if you have seen the thumbnail and the title, of course, we sadly have to bring the news that Roberto Firmino will be leaving Liverpool Football Club at the end of the season. Of course, it's come as a shock and a surprise for I think everyone today, and I think everyone has had a little bit of an eye opener today of like, wow, like I don't think any of us saw it coming as well. So again, I am joined by Jack from the Anfield Road TV. First of all, Jack, how are we? And how did you process the news of Roberto Firmino leaving Liverpool?
End of an era, in all honesty, mate. I think, obviously, Bobby, as we'll speak about tonight, mate, he was probably in my top three of all favourite time Liverpool players, in all honesty, mate. Just what he meant to all of us, really, and his never say die attitude. And fundamentally, he was the best false nine in world football for a couple of years. And yeah, he's a very special player, as we'll speak about tonight, mate. But yeah, big up chat as well. And if you haven't already done so, smash that like button as well. And just let us know all your thoughts in the comment section below on what your favourite Bobby moment was.
Yeah, and trust me, there's been a few, very few of them. And look, for me, I think obviously Roberto Firmino coming in was obviously a Brendan Rodgers signing, but has absolutely took his game to the next level under Jurgen Klopp.
Mm.
And as Jack said, for me, one of Liverpool's best ever players, and under Jurgen Klopp. I still remember that 17-18 season where he got over 30 goals in all competitions. Like that was an unreal season for Roberto Firmino. But then you look on the other side of it where he's been unselfish in many regards to allow the team to go on and do wonderful things, obviously win Premier League, Champions League, and so on. Obviously there's many more things in that as well. Obviously Bobby helping a lot when it comes to the Club World Cup, and for me should have been the best, the player of the tournament in that competition. I think it was going to Mohamed Salah in the end, but still, again, and as Jack said, it is an end of an era for Liverpool. Gini Wijnaldum maybe gone with, and Sadio Mane, and now Roberto Firmino. Liverpool's golden generation, or the Klopp golden generation of players, is slowly leaving. And it is sad to see as well. But let us know your thoughts and your opinions in the comments down below as well. I will get to all of you guys' comments down below as well.
Big good.
Hi, Jordan, as well. John's in as well. Hello, John. Guys, hope you're well. Doing brilliantly. Thank you, John. Very sad news about Bobby. Was hoping we could keep him for another 2 years yet as well. But of course, we'll speak a bit more about what's happened around the Roberto Firmino situation. Of course, Chris saying my favourite ever forward at Liverpool, up there with Suarez and Dirk. Sad for him to leave as well, says Chris. And Gary saying Talio Olbein and Jack is Bobby is off. Here is the show. One would replace him with Denzel Dumfries because defenders will leave in the summer. I think Denzel Dumfries is the right back,
Yeah,
I
he's a
think.
right wing back, like, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think potentially he will be joining Liverpool anyway. But if you guys have not seen, of course, the confirmation today anyway from, of course, Florian Plintenberg. Of course, he's been very reliable over the last 2 years, I think, at least, concerning the Liverpool information anyway. But of course, Florian Plintenberg on Twitter saying exclusive news: Firmino, he will leave Liverpool after 8 years. It's decided. The player has informed Jurgen Klopp personally, and today it was a good talk. He won't extend his contract. He will leave the club as a free agent in the summer. It does also go on to say as well, it was very important for him to inform Klopp after the training session today, and personally, he made clear to the coach that he will fight for Liverpool until the end of the season. He wants to make another step with his family. He has not yet chosen a new club as well, of course. The rumours and the suggestions have said that potential Saudi clubs have been after him for some time. But again, it would not surprise me if top European clubs come in for him as well. But Jack, I think plenty of people have mentioned, I think the Inside Anfield clip as well of Bobby taking in, I think it was the This is Anfield sign, and like a little bit like of him going, oh, that I'm going to be leaving the club. I don't know if you've seen that clip or if you guys have not seen it neither. But for me, it is a little bit of a shame because I fully expected him to sign for another 2 years. I think Klopp as well was very much wanting him to sign that 2-year contract extension. And again, like we've mentioned, already at the start, it's going to leave a gaping hole in Liverpool's team, and a real leader in the team as well, I'd say, because again, Bobby has been here for 8 years and has been through it all with Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah, as you said, mate, he's one of the senior figures. I'd counterbalance that really, mate, in terms of obviously the emergence of signing Gakpo. I personally feel Gakpo is Bobby's long-term successor at the football club. I think Gakpo's overall game, if he is playing through the middle, is much better than Jota's. I think he's got probably more strings to his bow, Gakpo. We'll find out in the next couple of years, mate, but in recent weeks, and obviously the emergence of why we signed Gakpo was potentially he's good at pressing from the front, and that's what Bobby was so good at the peak of his powers. You alluded to the 17-18 season, I think it was, where him, Mane and Salah, remember, like, was it yesterday? Yeah, ridiculous numbers when, obviously, that was our first Champions League final under Jurgen Klopp that year, and he just took all three of them took the Europe by surprise. I think fundamentally, whoever he goes to, I'm hoping he does go to a big club, mate, because I think he's still got very much a lot to offer an elite side in European competition. I think he'd literally go to the Serie A and be literally one of the best players in that league by a bloody country mile. It's the way his game he makes football look quite simple, and that's just how good he is. His technical understanding is probably the best in the Liverpool squad at this current moment in time. I mean, obviously Thiago Alcantara, both of them, but mainly Bobby, really. The stuff he does with the ball, and he's Liverpool's second highest goal scorer this season, but you're absolutely spot on, where obviously with him going out the door, yes, he didn't play every single game, but what he did offer Liverpool was, never say die attitude, quality on the ball, important goals as well. And it's very important that Liverpool come what this summer, post the end of this year, very much we recruit 100% right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think with Roberto Firmino as well, it's like you said, I think a lot of people thought at the end of January that Gakpo was the replacement for him. And I've seen plenty of people already on social media saying like, oh, Liverpool need to replace Roberto Firmino. I personally don't think that is the case. I think that Liverpool are more than happy right now with Roberto Firmino potentially leaving the club, and then maybe there might be a signing in a year's time, maybe that might come to Liverpool's attention. But I think at the moment Liverpool have more worrying issues in terms of the transfer market. Midfield and defense being in that as well. But as Jack says, again, I am very intrigued to see where his next club will be. Like I mentioned, obviously there's been a few Saudi clubs that have been linked and reported. Barcelona's been linked. I think Juventus as well today have also been linked.
One team that comes to my mind, Colin, don't know how you feel in chat, Atletico Madrid. I think he would suit either an Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone, the work ethic of Bobby, as we all know. He's up and down the pitch. And I think technically it'd suit the way in which Atletico Madrid down to a T. Obviously, the loss of Skel Felix to Chelsea on loan, but I think either him or I think if you went to Italy, either AC or Inter Milan, I think obviously you look at Giroud, he's not the youngest anyway. He's getting on in terms of his career, even though he's still a good player. But I think, either one of the Milan clubs or most definitely at an Atletico Madrid, mate, or even Barcelona, mate. You never know.
I'll go Barca.
You never know with Barca. How old's Bobby? He's like 31, 30. Like he's. I'll have a quick look anyway at his actual age.
He was born in 91, so that would leave Bobby being 30,
31, yeah.
31,
yeah, so, and even still, 31. And he's not like a player that is heavily relied on his pace, like an Owen or a Torres.
If he was one of these players that can easily like
prolong his career at another
yeah,
club. Yeah.
and that's the thing. It's like we've said, in terms of a Liverpool system where we've gone, oh, where could Bobby potentially go? We've always said that Bobby, if he's not going to play in that false nine position, he'd be perfect for a number 10 position and in a team that can play a 4-2-3-1. For example, he went to Barcelona. Right now, they play a kind of like a weird 4-3-3 that, even when Lewandowski's not there, can play that false nine position and allow the likes of Rafinha and, Ansu Fati and many others at Barcelona in there as well. But you know what? I'm not against that Atletico Madrid shout from you. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, Bobby's 31, just to confirm.
Yeah, still
as
young
well.
now.
Yeah, it's absolutely young as well. But still, let us know your guys' thoughts in the chat as well down below. Hannah's in as well, saying hi guys. Bobby is easily one of my favorite in the modern era, stylish and unselfish, and scored some cracking goals for us as well. Well, chat, let us know your favorite Roberto Firmino moments as well. Of course, we'll mention our favorite moments.
I love the most, Con and chat, is his celebrations. Like that was the best Joe and he'd scored, or that's what one element that I miss, and it's the joys of just being a football fan, but most importantly a Liverpool fan, was seeing him and Sadio Mane, but basically Bobby take the mickey out of Mane with his celebrations, just copying. I think Mane, he loved it really, but he was like, there's a bit of banter between them two. But yeah, it's classic karate kicks. I love it as well.
I think my favorite off the field moment with Bobby was a Burnley away after Mo and Sadio had argued, and Bobby's face going back into the changing room.
Oh yeah,
like
that meme.
Christ, yeah. That's for me is my favorite Roberto Firmino off the field moment. Anyway, but Gary mentioned front three going forward now is Gakpo, Nunes, and Salah. Jota and Diaz are squad players now. I would a little bit disagree with that. I think Luis Diaz, when fit, is massively in the Liverpool starting 11. I think
it's going to be interesting here, Con. Sorry, because when you allude to Diaz and obviously Nunes, completely different players, so that's good for themselves, really. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I think. Do you know what? I might sound really weird, but if Liverpool get the signings we do in the summer, I thought this team screams 4-2-3-1, and of course we know Jurgen likes a 4-3-3, but I feel like this season we haven't done that 4-2-3-1 many times because we haven't had the players available to do it. But now we do, obviously, because players are coming back fit. But again, I think it's when everyone is fit, I think Liverpool don't need to sign anyone because, of course, you've got those five, but they're in Gakpo, Nunes, and Salah, and Jota and Diaz.
Yeah.
But then, of course, as proven this season, when we haven't had them, we've massively relied on the likes of Fabio Carvalho, Harvey Elliott as backtrack, and of course Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as well when he's been fit and available as a fifth, sixth choice forward as well. So again, of course, with him leaving in the summer potentially as well, so it's another options going and leaving.
Yeah, 100%. And I think me and you, Con, we spoke about it a couple of years ago when we were doing our Henderson video, and I think mainly me as well, when I've been doing my videos, I spoke about not having sentiment. And of course, Bobby will go down, and he is already a Liverpool legend, especially in mine and Connor's age as well, and just recent, especially people our age.
Biased.
Yeah, he is a Liverpool legend, bloody by a million miles away. But in terms of when you analyse the contract situation currently, Con, and chat, let us know. I think this season is very much telling for, most importantly, Jurgen Klopp, where he's analysed and looked at the squads, and we'll find out if it's come from Bobby and Liverpool have offered him a 2-year contract. And as those comments from Florian do allude to, him and his family would love to move to another, potentially go back home to Brazil. I think there was a comment from a Brazilian fan there.
Bobby come back home.
Yeah, so there's a lot of Brazilian clubs out there that would very much snap him up within a heartbeat anyway, in reality, because it'd be more or less a hero coming home as well.
Yeah, no, 1,000%. And again, to think he didn't get into the World Cup squad for Brazil
They
is,
massively missed him.
yeah.
Massively missed Bobby Firmino.
No, I massively agree with it. Again, it still makes me laugh that they picked Richarlison over Bobby Firmino. When again, I know Richarlison has his higher ups in the Brazilian national squad, but again, Roberto Firmino this season, like you mentioned, Liverpool's second top goal scorer. We've already mentioned how good he's been away from scoring goals. And like you said, it was someone that massively Brazil missed at the World Cup as well. But judging from, as you mentioned, Florian Plintenberg's comments, it does seem like this is a Roberto Firmino decision. Yeah, it's not a club decision. I think the club and Jurgen Klopp very much wanted him to sign that 2-year contract extension, which obviously I think as well, when you when you look back at it a little bit, of course, this is probably Bobby's last, or it is Bobby's last chance to have a
Last
mega
big payday.
contract.
Yeah,
Yeah,
last big payday.
exactly. And obviously, Liverpool will probably offering him less terms than he's on at the moment. Of course, £180,000 per week, I think he's currently on at Liverpool. So again, you suspect that the contract would have been for less than what he's currently getting paid. And of course, when players leave on a free transfer, again, like we mentioned, payday is the big word there because again, they don't have to buy transfer fees and so on.
Yeah, it's the thing, no, Con, as well, innit? Especially all as Europeans, but especially from a South American point of view, we know how much of a struggle it is, especially for young players, obviously applying the trade in South America and then they're moving at an early age away from the family. And I love that the most about Bobby. And first and foremost, mate, he could have happily sat on a contract for the next 2-3 years at Liverpool and been very content. But Bobby's like, no, I want to go to another club. He's seeing what Mane's doing at Bayern Munich, and he's like, sounds I want a bit more of that. And I admire that so much more, but that just highlights the character, the classic Rafa quote, the character. In terms of Bobby, what he is as an individual, first and foremost, his ability on a pitch. It just indicates how much of a willingness and still a hunger, even at the age of 31. He can easily prolong, especially if he goes to Serie A or another league that is a lot more technically slower. He can easily get another 4 or 5 years out of that contract, whoever he goes to.
No, absolutely. And again, Roberto Firmino reminds me of Zlatan a little bit, where his quality will get, and like you mentioned with Giroud as well in this area, where their ability has stayed quite good in the league because the league is of course a lot more slower and so on, unlike a Premier League or even I wouldn't even say a Spanish league in that regard. Anyway, but big up Jay as well. Hopefully having a fantastic day, my friend, as well. Alan Ronaldo saying Firmino broke my heart when he scored against Flamingo, my team as well, but I still love him as well. Absolutely. And big thanks for tuning in as well, my friend. As well, Klopp has to move away from the false nine. The header against Arsenal was my favourite Bobby moment as well. I think we are slowly moving away from false nine territory as well. But again, with Gakpo being there, I think it gives us a versatility and versatile options that we, in some games we can go back to the false nine, or we can, go as the way we are currently going at the moment as well. But Hannah said, have you seen the clip of Bobby kicking a ball through a basketball hoop without looking? That is my favourite off the field moment. Sums him up so well. I have seen the clip, yeah.
Yeah, and even the classic one, Gone and Chat, Joe, the media boardroom meeting with Bobby, or is it knowledge? Bobby doesn't say nothing, but he just comes out with English knowledge. And it's probably like, I love it so much though. It's just the players, like the personality is obviously right there on the bloody table. And yeah, it's just a bit of fun, really. Just a funny moments like that. And well, as we say, football can move very quickly. But there's no other bigger club in the whole of Europe that we remember what these players have done for us, especially the true ones that have stuck around and not like a Sterling or other players that have like sneaked off and burn bridges in reality. But some with Mane and Firmino, I tell you what, that Firmino song, "Best in the World" is Bobby Firmino.
Yeah.
Like that is probably, and that in itself, I think the affiliation with the fans and the song and Bobby as a player, he knows our love for him, and it will continue to be so. But I think that song will be getting sang every single time till now to the end of May, regardless of the results or whatnot. We love Bobby, and I'm hoping he does get his opportunities con and chat this season. If he's fit, play him, and he'll give us all. And I think it'll be sad for him, really, but it'll be like one last ride, as they say.
Yeah. No, I think I think obviously today we're going to do a preview for Manchester United tonight, but that United game on Sunday now is massive. Where you're just going to hear Bobby Firmino's song be absolutely screamed out, hopefully by everyone. And it is sad a little bit. I was gutted when I heard the news. Straight away, and I think plenty of other people have had the same sort of reaction where even if people, I think even the people that were like, yeah, maybe it is time for Bobby to leave the club, for himself and the club. But I think even then, I think everyone today has been like, Jesus Christ, like, this is an end of an era when it comes to Liverpool. And look, Bobby Firmino is going to be massively missed. Again, like I said at the start of the show, I fully expected him to sign a new deal. Like we said, it does seem to be like a Bobby Firmino decision. And again, if the correct club is there and the right money and funds are there, then fair play to him. Because, like I said, he hasn't got, and like Florian Plintenberg mentioned, he's already said at the club he wants to, go all out for this season and try and get Liverpool Champions League footy and get himself up there as well. So again, it'll be interesting to see as well whether or not he might even start against Manchester United. It will be interesting to see as well for Sunday. Where does this leave Carvalho? I think Carvalho will be a massive keynote for next season in that regard. He deserves to go and get his back his payday as well. Absolutely. Talio John as well. Hannah says, yeah, Bobby deserves a massive Anfield send-off as well. Yeah, no, he does. Absolutely. And Gary saying agreed, Hannah, as well. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick look then. A moment at Bobby Firmino's just Liverpool record in general, as well as you can see, on the bottom right there as well, 353 games for Liverpool. I will quickly highlight it for you guys as well, but 353 appearances for Liverpool, 107 goals and 71 assists as well. You look at his win percentage record, I believe he has the second highest win percentage rating for players that have played over 200 games for Liverpool, which I think is only bettered by Mohamed Salah, I think, at the moment. So,
is that in the Liverpool era, or is that
Liverpool era?
To the 1780? 70s, 80s.
Liverpool era.
So
entire era, I think.
I
think players that have made over 200 appearances for Liverpool, Mo has the best percentage, like win record, and then I think it goes down to Bobby. So again, but it is a mad stat, and like we said, and as you got it there, you guys can see it for yourselves. But the honours, Champions League, a European Super Cup, a Premier League, League Cup, FA Cup.
He's won it all.
He's won it. He's won everything. Let's say as well, and like we said, for me, was the player of the tournament, the Club World Cup. Massively saved us in those games against, like, as people mentioned, like Flamingo and that. So again, he's definitely left his legacy with the football club. And again, like as Jack said, not singing his song is going to be very sad next season because again, it's one of the best songs.
It's probably, for me, it's probably one of my favourite songs in the Klopp era. I think obviously going to ground, or even when you're out and about in the parades and everything, like it is, and obviously gets translated all around the world. It's the affiliation with that song in the Klopp era. I think it goes hand in hand very much, very closely in terms of that. But yeah, he's a special player. And obviously, Gary alluding to his goals. Yeah, it would be nice. I think I tell you what, if Bobby could actually if he did add more to his game, his goals, but we know that wasn't his game. His game was all about being unselfish, dragging players out of position, dragging centre halves all the way to the halfway line. Then, obviously, the likes of Mane, obviously Salah, Origi, then to penetrate that space in behind. And that's the unselfish nature of Bobby. And go and get after this year. We'll be all supporting Bobby, whoever he goes to. Even if he needs to move to Forest and get a massive payday, I'll be all up for that as well. As long as Bobby gets fully rewarded.
I think when we're talking about paydays, I think Newcastle's name was actually brought in straight away when we were speaking about Roberto Firmino, potential next club anyway. But I want to quickly share a quote as well that I saw on Twitter as well. Obviously, they were saying as well, I will share your favourite quote about Firmino. This was Jurgen Klopp. I think this was back in 2019 as well. Obviously, Klopp saying, Mohamed Salah, world class, but not every day. Sadio Mane, world class, but not every day. Roberto Firmino, world class, pretty much every day. Which was, kind of a nice quote from obviously Jurgen Klopp as well. But again, like we said, it will be interesting to see where he does go. And like as Jack's mentioned, his clubs, I've mentioned my clubs as well. I think, if I'm being perfectly honest, I think he's too good of a player to go back to Brazil or to go to the Saudi League. I think he's still good enough to be in Europe's top 5 leagues. Obviously, I know plenty of people have gone, oh, well, Ronaldo's in the Saudi League, but yeah, Ronaldo is, 5-6 years older than Bobby Firmino. So again, I think La Liga, Serie A, he'd be perfect.
I'd be intrigued to see how he actually go to the Bundesliga, Con and Chas. But as the clubs we've alluded to, mate, something screams to me, Bayern need a number 9. But you never know. But obviously got a good understanding with Sadio Mane as well. But
Jesus Christ, this is scary now. Thinking about
the thing, though, like if you're the top club around Europe and you're seeing Bobby being available come at the end of the season, especially on a free transfer, you're going getting him straight away. We top of the priority list for literally every club in Europe, in all honesty.
Yeah, no, I 1,000% agree with you there. Philip says Bobby is a Liverpool legend of the modern era, even though he never got the recognition he deserved or scored as many goals. I think he should have as well. Yeah, again, I think like people to go on about the when Bobby record, I think at Anfield, I think he scored 1 goal the entire season we won the league. But I think plenty of people to forget that he scored so many important away goals. I think Spurs away, Norwich away that season. I think Chelsea away, I think he nicked a goal as
so
well
many
in that season. Like it's so important.
Like outside the Prem, definitely Philip. But as we know, we all love him, and he's most importantly got the recognition. But that's just the bias of rival fans, especially in the Premier League. Anyone that plays for Liverpool, they're like,
just look at Darwin Núñez.
Yeah, and even Salah, mate. Salah's on like his 5th season now, or 6th season, whatever it is, and it's like,
20 plus goals.
But like, because he plays for Liverpool, but yeah, it's going to be intriguing to say the least. But we love him to bits, and I'm liking the way that it wasn't. That as goes back to his personality, Con and Chas. He could have easily have like kept quiet for like till now the end of May, but he's like, sounds. He spoke to, and especially going to Jurgen Klopp at the end of the training session, supposedly over the last couple of days, and saying to Jurgen, right, that just allows the football club then now to move on and then do their due diligence really in terms of their recruitment. So it's absolute legend he is for very much doing that.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's one of the best things, isn't it? Where, like you mentioned, the fact that Liverpool can assess, where they want to go from next season onward. Like if Liverpool deem they need to get someone in the summer, I personally don't think they do. When everyone is fit, but like we mentioned, when you have 1 or 2 injuries, you are a bit light.
It's a massive summer, mate. When you actually analyse it, and obviously, I don't think massive is even the right word. It's massive or mega.
Gigantic.
Yes. See if you can beat them in the comments chat. Get your dictionary out. But yeah, you look at, obviously, for me, if you're losing Origi and Firmino, in terms of the playing squad, I think we still need, if we're losing Bobby, which we knew we were, but I still think we need another forward of world-class quality. About 10 midfielders, as we know, of proper quality. And obviously obviously Joel Matip potentially leaving next summer as well. And obviously the injury crisis at the back. It's going to be a massive window, not just in the midfield department, but in terms of the forward line as well.
Squad.
Yeah, this is literally, as much as we all hate it, it is a transitional season, not just for the next 6 months. It's for the next 2-3 year periods of trying to get all these players embedded and first and foremost start winning games of football.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? We've seen from Chelsea's experience right now when they've signed 8, 9 players in 6 months. The fact that now they're struggling with, like, I think people now are going on about I think Mudryk, I think for Chelsea, and they're like, oh well, he's not doing the things that he's supposed to be doing by now. And you're like, well, to be fair, he's just moved from the Ukrainian league and only just got his bearings to probably England itself, let alone.
I just don't even get that when they've got Sterling on as well. Like, I still think he was a good player, Sterling. But yeah, he's probably scratching his head going, why if I move to Chelsea? But he's that's what you get for burning your bridges, Sterling. If it actually went to City and were quite good and behaved before you moved, then potentially you might have another parallel universe. That's literally what it will be. He could have maybe come to Liverpool, but
there was that rumor, wasn't it, that he thought he would have been moving back to Liverpool.
Oh yeah, that's Sterling. That was the arrogance that's seen him get absolutely decked by Joe Gomez in the England camp.
Yeah.
So unlucky, you little rat, Sterling.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I did mention it on the community tab yesterday. I did mention it on Twitter as well. Mason Mount rumors. Obviously, that's getting more and more up there as well. Obviously, can probably play in the front three as well if he was to sign at Liverpool. So again, it's another option. I'm starting to more think about Mason Mount and Liverpool shirt, and I'm more thinking of it's very much like a Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain signing, where it's an
it's just I'd say he's replacing. Yeah, as you said, there, Con, very much like for like with Ox. I think he had a year or two left on his contract at Arsenal, didn't he, Ox?
He had 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah, so I think exactly the same. As you said, mate. I think that's a replacement for Ox. But yeah, enough about this is all about
Bobby Firmino.
Bobby.
I hope he joins Inter as well. Excuse me. I think again, it's just where is wherever he wants to go, and where his family wants to go. Of course, the latest rumors are that there are bids. I think, let me double check something, chat. There were bids from Saudi, but there was also bids from Saudi. Newcastle are also interested, and a team in Italy are also interested as well. So again, be interesting to see where he does go.
I'd put my money would be either on Atletico Madrid or an Italian club, because I tell you what, he's literally, if he did go to Italy, he'd mince up the Italian defense anyway. The league, of course, it's quite slow, and it's probably technically one of the best defensive leagues in Europe, considering how structured they are defensively, most of the coaches. But he'd thrive in that environment, really, mate. I think he'd do amazing.
No, he would 1,000%. I agree with you there. Philip says, wherever Bobby goes next, I wish him all the best as well. Yeah, absolutely. He's on a free transfer, so obviously Barcelona will be in for him as well. Yeah, I think
mentioned that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think obviously if you guys know the latest news with Barcelona is quite funny. I think they have to get rid of 120 million to balance the books out in the summer, which that's going to be a task in itself.
I just wish La Liga just actually got the
act together,
the confidence to actually throw the book at Barcelona, but they're too scared, and that just goes to show how much power Barca have still got in La Liga, even though they're absolutely crippled financially. Yeah. It's mad.
Well, it's like the Premier League with City now, and it'll be interesting to see if they have a backbone and have a go at them with these charges. At the moment, again, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Bobby. Let's celebrate Bobby. But let's also admit that there is time to come and time to go as well. Nice. Yeah, absolutely, Albert. Gakpo is taking over from Bobby, in my opinion. Yeah, I think
100%.
that's 100% true. 190,000 a week will also be freed up. Yeah, that's
Massive.
also true.
Yeah.
Of course, Liverpool, I think, second on the wage bill now. I think in terms of Premier League, in that regard. But yeah, very true, Albert. Anthony says, I see Liverpool signing Mount and Kante.
Can't say no.
Yeah, Mount, yes. Kante, no. I think Kante's going to PSG, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. If he's a free, PSG will be all over that. Like,
Yeah.
Frenchman. So, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, but if anyone is just tuning in, anyway, of course, obviously,
Recap there.
we're recapping the news on Roberto Firmino. And of course, the news today that he will be leaving Liverpool after 8 years at the club. Of course, it's decided. He has spoken to Jurgen Klopp about his decision. Of course, everything is okay between Bobby and the club and Jurgen, of course. He has informed the club that he will be leaving and not signing a contract extension. And again, Florian Plintenberg also added as well. It was important to him that he spoke to Klopp about this. Of course, he spoke to him personally after today's training session. And again, saying that he wants to still fight for the club, and of course, he'll be waiting to see what he can do in terms of the next steps with his family as well, because of course there's no club chosen at the moment neither. So again, it will be interesting over the next couple of weeks to know what and which team Bobby will go for. But again, in terms of Liverpool, we have a top four race still to go. Bobby is going to be, very much important and crucial for that as well. Again, this season in the league, I think he's got 9 goals in the league. Is it in the Premier League? I will double check on that. To be fair, he has 7 goals and 3 assists in 17 appearances this season. But again, it's still so important to try and get Liverpool top 4 this season anyway. But Jack, before we do head off, is there anything else you have to say about Roberto Firmino?
Best in the world is Bobby Firmino. But yeah, no, it's going to be, as we know, it's literally going to be a celebration. I know we haven't had a lot to celebrate this season, as we all know. But if we can take a bit of positivity out of this year, and we've got to celebrate Bobby for what the amazing work he has done on the pitch and off the pitch, fundamentally for Liverpool, and for anything really, we can just keep him fit. Bobby, if he is, I want him to start. If he's fully fit against Man United, I'd start him. Yeah, a bit of sentimental, but he's going to do a job first and foremost. He'll press that Manchester United back line to all the way back down the M49, like 41, 42, whatever it is, down Manny Way anyway. Yeah. But yeah, he's love him. We all love him to bits, and yeah, we can all cry our eyes out today. It just makes you depressed watching all the amazing Bobby moments. But hopefully, he's still got a couple of dances left in him. So you never know. Could do something special in Madrid. You never know.
Yeah, that is very, very true. I'm just going to quickly have a look now. Yeah, Liverpool don't play the last game of the season at Anfield. We do play Villa. The last 3 games of the season is Leicester away, Villa at home, and then Southampton away. So obviously the send-off for Bobby will be before the last game of the season.
That's a good question there by Brian. Who gets the number 9?
Darwin Núñez.
Darwin, yeah.
Easily Darwin Núñez for me. I've seen plenty of people mention that as well. I think people were, with the likelihood of people leaving, who takes the numbers up for next season. And it was like, I think the people were thriving for Luis Diaz to be the new number 7 if James Milner was to go, which could easily see it. But
that does suit Luis Diaz, kind of number 7. Yeah. Chat, let us know before we do shoot off.
Yeah, let us know. But yeah, Darwin to get number 9, I would agree with that. To be fair. Bobby Liverpool's smiling legend as well. Yeah, absolutely. Obviously Bobby's teeth, I think, will be remembered for a very long time as well, throughout the club as well. But Anthony saying Ansu Fati would be a great signing, young, fast, granted future. Not for me.
I don't think he's going anywhere past Barcelona. I watched obviously the Real Madrid game last night. He did get brought on, and he's a massive pass. He's part of the La Masa Academy, so he's one of their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Nunes 9, Diaz 7, Jota 10, Gakpo 11 if Salah goes. Maybe in a couple of years' time. Bobby should get a testimonial. That won't happen
100%.
for a couple. He should, but it won't happen for at least a year and a bit, probably. Well,
I
unless
don't.
he's retired. Do you have testimonials for people who not retired?
We'll have a massive send off wherever it is. Albert, he's boss on there, mate. It will be. I'm hoping we do something because we 100% deserve it. And I tell you what, Jurgen Klopp, after the news today and the reaction seeing it from social media, the club better do something special for them.
I think it'd
And
be a lot
hopefully
better than Divock Origi's last
yeah,
season.
and hopefully do something special for Mane as well. I don't think we really celebrated Mane that much.
No, we didn't.
Like for all the work he done as well. So hopefully we may be potentially at the end of the season. I think it was difficult. I think there probably wasn't any room for any scheduling, as we know, because literally we're playing every single game, flying everywhere, known to man.
We came back, didn't we? We came back, and then 2 days after we were flying out to Switzerland for pre-season. So
Yeah,
there was nothing really thereabouts. Anyway, Albert Dasu wears the number 10. Mason Mount if he signs for Liverpool. But apart from that, I'm not entirely sure. Maybe Luis Diaz might get it. Don't know.
We know who's getting the chat, don't we?
That's been clipped up. But yeah, we definitely know who's getting number 8. Jude Bellingham. Well, what? I never said anyone's name. But yeah, again, though.
Just freed up Jude's wages.
Don't say that. That's going to get clipped. But no, literally, it is a sad day. And of course, I don't think people are emotionally ready for when it is Bobby's last game at home against Aston Villa on the 20th of May. But again, obviously, we have so many important games before then. And of course, hopefully, Bobby will be able to get us to that anyway. But again, my favourite on the field Roberto Firmino moment, I will say before we do end off, it's got to be against Arsenal. Sitting down 3 or 4 Arsenal players and then slotting it
the
away.
one club that we made up on chat that he's gone or going at the end of the season is Arsenal, as you said, mate. I think his record against the Gunners is absolutely phenomenal. I think that is the most highest scoring team he's played against.
I think in the fixture, he's the highest goal scorer from both teams.
Yeah.
I think in the fixture. So Arsenal will be happy. But yeah, before we do it off, your favourite on the field moment for Roberto Firmino?
I'd say, yeah, it'd have to be his celebrations, mate. Like all of them. Like I can't really pick them. It's the joy of him seeing score a goal and all that, but just his character that I love. I think all of us do. How like sound he is. He sounds like an absolute bundle of joy and sounds like you go for the bevy with him, but like, and I love the way he doesn't really give interviews in English because he just knows how much of a horrible piece of work the English press are and how they probably potentially would have twisted his words. I think he can speak English, which is amazing. He just decides not to, which is fantastic. Because you can hear him, like it's very rare that you do see him do an interview in English, but yeah, it's amazing. Bobby Dazzler.
Absolutely. And look, I absolutely love the lad. And I'm gutted that he's going to be going at the end of the season as well. But guys, let us know your thoughts as well in the comments. Sometimes it's written in their contract as well. What were the numbers? Who gets 8 in Bellingham? Lol, it's Jude Bellingham.
Let us see, Anthony. Come on.
Anthony, I will argue with you to the end of the moon. It's Jude Bellingham, I'm telling you. Bobby getting the winner against PSG. Yeah, that was a brilliant moment. To be fair, again, that was the season we won the Champions League, wasn't it? So, again.
Yeah, that was massive.
Yeah, that was massive. I think I frozen, to be fair, so I'll come back in a moment. Bellingham is gone. Gone to Liverpool. No hate, please. As well. Beats Liverpool's, I think, to be fair. But again, we're going to talk about him more. Hopefully in the next
plenty more shows for that.
As well. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, but we are going to leave it there for today's breaking news episode. Anyway, if you guys have enjoyed, then please feel free to leave a like as well. If anyone's watching on the repeat, then please let us know your favorite Roberto Firmino moment, and just let us know your overall thoughts and opinion as well on Roberto Firmino leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. Anyway, because I think again there will be a few sad mentions in the comments as well, at least anyway. But obviously, Gary saying as well, Jack gets the number 8 shirt as well. Jack, can you play midfield?
Most definitely not, because I would get crucified on Twitter, especially Twitter Spaces, if I actually played for Liverpool.
Oh,
You think it's bad here? I'd be doing the classic hoofball into the penalty area.
classic
But,
Burnley midfielder, just like sit back hoofball at the pitch. But yeah, obviously, if any mods are in the chat, then please feel free to leave Anfield Road TV, leave a chat link in the comments down below. Please go and subscribe over there as well. And again, just let us know your thoughts and opinions as well on Roberto Firmino as well. But obviously, we'll be live again tonight at 9 o'clock for the Manchester United preview. So hopefully, I will see all you guys there later on. And hopefully, we can talk a bit more, obviously, about Roberto Firmino. But again, Liverpool, Manchester United, huge fixture and a huge opportunity to take points off them and get into the top 4, hopefully for the Reds anyway. But I've been Connor from the Cup Council. I'll see you all later. Ta-ra.